The collapse of the universe. At 1:24 and 17 seconds after midnight, the universe would stop expanding and begin to collapse.
The observation was to take place in the largest hall of the National Astronomical Observatory. Images from a space telescope in synchronous orbit were supposed to fill a screen as large as a basketball court. For the moment, the screen remained blank.
Only a few people had gathered, but nearly all of them were authorities in theoretical physics, astrophysics, and cosmology. They waited in silence for the appointed instant, like Adam and Eve newly shaped from clay, waiting for the first breath of life.
Only the director paced back and forth. The giant screen had failed, and engineer Zhang, who maintained it, had not arrived. If she did not come, the greatest moment in cosmological history would have to appear on a small monitor, and the grandeur would be badly diminished.
Professor Ding Yi entered the hall. The scientists seemed to come alive before the event itself. They all stood, apart from a universe, 200 light-years in radius. There was only one thing in the room that could inspire such awe: Ding Yi.
He greeted no one and ignored the comfortable chair prepared for him. Instead, he walked to a glass case in the corner and studied an ancient clay star chart.
It was the observatory's treasure, a priceless relic from the Western Zhou dynasty. Eyes that had turned to dust thousands of years ago had carved a summer night sky into it. Time had nearly loosened the clay itself, and the engraved stars were blurred, yet the real stars beyond the hall had not changed at all.
Ding Yi took out a large pipe, dug a full bowl of tobacco from his coat pocket, and lit it as if no one else existed. Everyone was startled. He had severe bronchitis and had never smoked before. The hall also forbade smoking, and that one pipe gave off more smoke than 10 cigarettes.
But Ding Yi had earned the right to do almost anything. He had created unified field theory and completed Einstein's dream.
His theory had made a series of predictions about the large-scale universe, and precise observation had confirmed them. Later, hundreds of supercomputers ran the mathematical model for 3 uninterrupted years and produced an unbelievable result. After 20 billion years of expansion, the universe would begin to collapse in 2 years.
Now those 2 years had become less than an hour. White smoke gathered above Ding Yi's head in dreamlike spirals, as if his impossible thoughts were leaving his brain in visible form.
Professor Ding, the governor's coming tonight. It was not easy to get him here. Please try to influence him for us, even a little, and help the observatory obtain some provincial funding. I should not burden you with this, but our finances are exhausted. The state will not give us more money this year. The province is our only chance.
We are one of the country's main cosmology bases, yet we can barely pay the power bill for the radio telescope. We have even begun looking at that ancient star chart as a possible asset. If not for cultural relic law, we would already have sold it.
The governor entered with 2 aides. The fatigue on his face carried a trace of ordinary earthly life into a place that seemed to float above it.
I am sorry to be late. Professor Ding, everyone, good evening. Today was the first clear day after the heavy rains. The flood situation is tense. The Yangtze is close to the highest water level of 1998.
The director welcomed him warmly and led him to Ding Yi, sending Ding a pleading glance.
Now Professor Ding can introduce the concept of cosmic collapse for you.
Perhaps I should first explain my own understanding, and then Professor Ding and the scientists can correct me.
Hubble discovered the red shift of the universe. The spectra of observable galaxies move toward the red end, which means the galaxies are receding from us. From that, we infer that the universe is expanding, and that it was born in a great explosion 20 billion years ago.
If the total mass of the universe is below a certain value, expansion will continue forever. If it is above that value, gravity will slow the expansion, stop it, and then draw the universe inward toward collapse.
For a long time, observable matter suggested eternal expansion. Then neutrinos were found to have mass, and large amounts of dark matter were discovered. The total mass rose sharply, and the second conclusion became more plausible. Galaxies would one day gather toward a gravitational center, and their spectra would shift from red to blue. Now, Professor Ding's unified field theory has calculated the exact moment when expansion turns into collapse.
Excellent. Few officials understand basic science so well. I'm sure Professor Ding agrees.
What he said is basically correct.
Ding slowly tapped ash from his pipe onto the clean carpet.
Yes. If Professor Ding says so, then the governor's explanation must be very accurate.
Accurate enough to display his shallowness.
The director's expression froze. A few suppressed laughs came from the scientists.
I studied physics once, but after 30 years of administration, I have forgotten almost everything. Compared with everyone here, my physics and cosmology may not even qualify as shallow. I only remember Newton's 3 laws.
And you are still far from understanding them.
The director shook his head, trapped between embarrassment and helplessness. Professor Ding, we live in 2 entirely different worlds. Mine is practical, unpoetic, and full of trivial burdens. We rush about like ants, and our vision is as narrow as an ant's. When I leave my office late at night and look up at the stars, it feels like a rare luxury.
Your world is airy and mysterious. Your mind crosses hundreds of light years and tens of billions of years. To you, Earth is a speck of dust in the universe, and the present world is a moment too brief to measure. Honestly, I envy you. I dreamed of such a world when I was young, but it is too hard to enter. Tonight, it is not so hard. You can stay in Professor Ding's world for a while and witness one of its greatest moments.
I am not that fortunate. I am sorry, everyone. Several sections of the Yangtze levee are in danger, and I must return to flood control headquarters. Before I leave, I have a question for Professor Ding. It may sound childish to you, but I have thought about it for a long time.
If collapse is marked by the universe turning from red shift to blue shift, then why will we see it now? The farthest observable galaxies are 20 billion light-years away. If the universe collapses at the same moment everywhere, should we not wait 20 billion years to see their blue shift? Even Alpha Centauri should need 4 years.
Ding Yi exhaled smoke. It hung in the air like a miniature spiral galaxy.
Good. Seeing that much makes you a little like a physics student, though still a shallow one.
Yes, we will see the spectra of all galaxies shift blue at the same time, not one after another over 4 to 20 billion years. This comes from quantum effects on the universe's largest scales. The mathematics is extremely complex, among the hardest concepts in physics and cosmology to express. There is no hope of making you understand it.
But you have received your first lesson. The effects of collapse are far more complex than people imagine. Do you have another question? And there is no need to leave at once. The matter you are going to handle is not as urgent as you think.
Compared with your whole universe, the Yangtze flood is certainly insignificant. But Professor Ding, mysterious as the universe may be, real life must still be lived. I truly should go. Thank you for the lesson, and I hope all of you see what you came to see.
You misunderstand me. There must be many people on the levees right now.
I have my responsibility, Professor Ding. I must return.
You still misunderstand me. I mean that the people on the levees must be exhausted. You can let them leave too.
Everyone was stunned.
Leave? To do what? Watch the collapse of the universe?
If they are not interested, they can go home and sleep.
Professor Ding, that is quite a joke.
I am serious. What they are doing has no meaning anymore.
Why?
Because of the collapse.
A long silence followed. The governor pointed toward the ancient star charts in the corner.
Professor Ding, the universe has always been expanding. Yet from antiquity to today, we have seen no change in it. Collapse should be the same. Human time and cosmic time are so different that our scale can be ignored. Apart from theory, I do not see how collapse can affect human life.
Even in 100 million years, if humans still exist,
We may not observe the tiny displacement of galaxies caused by collapse. Surely you do not believe the absurd rumors online that Earth will be squeezed flat.
1.5 billion years. With our most precise instruments, we could observe such displacement after 1.5 billion years. By then, the sun will have gone out, and there will probably be no us.
Exactly. And complete collapse would take 20 billion years. Humanity is a drop of dew on a cosmic tree. In its brief life, it cannot feel the tree growing.
At that moment, a young woman entered. Her face was pale, her eyes dim. She was Engineer Zhang, responsible for the giant display.
Xiao Zhang, this is unacceptable. Do you know what time this is?
My father just died in the hospital.
The director's anger vanished.
I am terribly sorry I did not know, but you see—
She said nothing more. She went to the control computer and began diagnosing the fault. Ding Yi approached slowly with his pipe between his teeth.
Young lady, if you truly understood what cosmic collapse means, your father's death would not make you so sad.
The remark enraged everyone in the hall. Zhang stood abruptly, her pale face flushed with anger, and her eyes filled with tears.
You are not a person of this world. Perhaps compared with your universe, my father is nothing. But he matters to me. He matters to ordinary people like us.
Your collapse is only a tiny change in the frequency of the weakest light in the night sky. Without precision instruments magnifying it 10,000 times, no one could even see the light, much less the change. What is collapse to ordinary people? Nothing.
What difference does it make to us whether the universe expands or collapses? But my father matters. Do you understand that?
Realizing whom she had shouted at, she forced herself under control and returned to the console.
Yes, as you said, 2 worlds.
Ding Yi circled himself with the physicists and cosmologists.
Our world reaches down to 100 quintillionth of a millimeter and out to tens of billions of light years. It can only be grasped by imagination. Your world has Yangtze floods, tight budgets, fathers dead and fathers living. It is solid and immediate.
The tragedy is that people insist on separating the two.
But you see them as separate.
No. Elementary particles are small, yet they compose us. The universe is vast, yet we are inside it. Every change in the microscopic and macroscopic worlds touches everything we are.
Then what will this collapse touch in us?
Ding Yi suddenly laughed. The laugh was nervous, but it also carried something secret and chilling.
Very well, physics student. Recite what you remember about the relation among time, space, and matter.
Modern physics, built from relativity and quantum mechanics, has proved that time and space cannot exist independently of matter. There is no absolute space-time. Time, space, and the material world are one whole.
Good. But who truly understands that? Do you? Director, do you? Zhang, do you? Technicians, do you? Even you scientists, do you really understand it?
No. You still think in absolute space-time as naturally as standing on the ground. Absolute space-time is the ground beneath your thoughts. Without it, you do not know how to hold anything.
When you speak of expansion and collapse, you imagine galaxies scattering and gathering inside an absolute time and an absolute space.
Ding Yi walked to the glass case, opened it, and took out the priceless star chart. He stroked it in his hands. The director raised both hands under it in panic. No one had dared touch the treasure in more than 20 years.
The director waited desperately for Ding Yi to put it back. Ding did not. He lifted his hand and threw the chart away. The ancient treasure shattered on the carpet into countless pieces of clay.
The air froze. Everyone stood stunned. Only Ding Yi continued to stroll. the single moving thing in a paralyzed world.
Space-time and matter cannot be separated. The expansion and collapse of the universe include all of space-time. Yes, my friends, all of time and all of space.
Another crack sounded. A glass fell from a physicist's hand. The scientists were not shocked by the broken relic, but by the meaning of Ding Yi's words.
You mean? Yes, they understand now.
Then, that is the meaning of the negative time parameter in the unified field model.
Ding Yi nodded.
Why did you not announce this earlier? That was irresponsible.
What good would it have done? It would only have caused worldwide chaos. What can we do to space-time?
What are all of you talking about?
Collapse. The collapse of the universe will affect humanity then.
Effect? No, it will change everything.
Change what?
The scientists hurried to arrange their thoughts, and no one answered at once.
Just tell me, when collapse begins, when blue shift begins, what happens?
Time will reverse.
Reverse. Time will flow backward.
At that moment, the giant screen came alive. A magnificent universe appeared before them. To make collapse visible, the computer had shifted the telescope images and exaggerated the colors produced by frequency change.
All stars and galaxies glowed red, representing the redshift of the expanding universe. When collapse began, they would all turn blue at once. In one corner of the screen, a countdown read 150 seconds until blue shift.
Our time has expanded with the universe for 20 billion years. Now that expanding time has less than 3 minutes left. After that, time will collapse with the universe. It will flow backward.
Director, do not grieve for the star chart. Soon after blue shift appears, the fragments will rejoin and return to the case. Years later, it will be buried again in the earth. Thousands of years after that, it will return to the kiln, and then to the hand of the ancient astronomer as a lump of wet clay.
Zhang, do not grieve for your father either. He will soon live again, and you will see him soon. If your father matters to you, take comfort. In the collapsing universe, he will live longer than you. He will watch you leave the world as an infant.
We old people have just stepped onto the road of life. You young people are approaching old age, or rather, infancy.
Governor, if the past did not happen, then the Yangtze flood will never overtop the levee during your term. The universe has only 100 seconds of future left. In a collapsing universe, the future is the past of the expanding one.
The greatest danger will not come until 1998. By then, your life will be near childhood, and it will not be your responsibility. There is 1 minute left. Nothing anyone does now can affect the future, because in this time, there is no future left.
As for me, I am doing a small thing I enjoy, one I could never do before because of bronchitis.
Ding Yi dug another bowl of tobacco from his pocket, lit it, and smoked calmly. 50 seconds to blue shift.
Impossible. Logically impossible. Time reversal? Everything running the other way? Are we supposed to speak backward? It is unimaginable.
You will adapt.
40 seconds to blue shift.
Then everything after this is merely repetition. History and life would become intolerably dull.
No, you will be in another time. What is now your past will become your future, and we are now standing in that future. You cannot remember the future. When blue shift begins, your future will be blank. You will remember nothing. Know nothing.
20 seconds to blue shift.
This is impossible.
You will find it perfectly reasonable to move from age toward childhood, from maturity toward ignorance. If someone speaks of another direction of time, you will think he is mad.
Soon. In a dozen seconds, the universe will pass through a singularity of time. At that point, time does not exist. Then we enter the collapsing universe.
8 seconds to blue shift.
Impossible. Truly impossible.
It does not matter. You will know soon.
5 seconds to blue shift. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The starlight of the universe changed from an irritating red into an empty white. The singularity of time, the white became a calm and beautiful blue. Blue shift began. Collapse began.
Nijib ispalak, Nijib tifo, Ubla fatudes DNA, Malakot ni detfies, Thegilrats, Evitfod teralugnis, et etewida mode, Nider nitatiri namorv, Degnak esrevinu, etfod de gilrats, Ores, eno, od, ruv, Snosis, evit, otifozuld, Nos wonkli wui, ritamton, seod ti.
Elbizapmi ilort. Elbizapmi tu fifizolbatsnosis, dizies esrevinu, nispalaka etretne, inet, tiketon seod emit, nioptat, ti, emit fo iteralugnis, ahagorst sapli esrevinu, et, esnosis, nizod aninus.